Disaster in the crypto markets. I can't find other words but to say the reality. XRP just lost a major support level on the chart. XRP lost $1.60 critical support level on the charts. I'm not gonna lie to you, this is not looking great.
Your losses and the losses of thousands of others are the sacrifice required to cleanse the system. The garbage had to be burned away so that the real asset, XRP, could be seen as the only surviving compliant solution in a regulatory wasteland. Actionable intel. The leadership is not afraid of the pain. They are willing to let the price fall to whatever level is necessary to achieve their strategic goals. Do not expect a bailout. Do not expect a pump to save you. Your only defense is to have a cost basis and a holding strategy that can survive this calculated indifference to retail suffering.
BTC lost its local bottom at $80,000, and right now BTC has to hold another critical support level. BTC now has to hold $73,000, which is MicroStrategy average purchasing price. So the situation now is extremely critical. Now, what to expect to XRP? We need to reclaim $1.60 as soon as possible. All eyes on $1.60. A weekly close above $1.60 could save the situation. And if the trend continues and XRP keeps falling, well, I have said we don't have many support levels on the chart from here. And 70 cents is even on the table. I'm not saying that would happen overnight, but that could be a painful process that would take weeks and perhaps months. We cannot deny the evidences. The trend is bearish. One of the reasons why this is happening is because dormant BTC wallets, they have been offloading massive amounts of BTC on the open markets. Those were the coins mined back in 2011, and they are currently offloading that on the markets. Of course, I remain bullish on XRP on the long term, and no, I am not a type of content creator that is not going to be out here. I'm putting my face, and I have been predicting this exact scenario if you follow my live streamings. So I'm going to be here when price goes up. I'm going to be here when price goes down. You might see me more often here on YouTube when price is going down. Now, what to do next? Well, the first thing that is important is to have some capital aside, not a financial advice, but if you want to increase your XRP position, your holdings, I think this will be a tremendous opportunity. I think this will be the final opportunity. Right now, all eyes to $1.60. We need XRP to reclaim this level as soon as possible, but this happened in a Saturday when there is virtually very little liquidity in the markets. This was very unexpected. It really seemed that we had a local bottom, and it turns out the other way around. So what happens next when the markets are going to finally open on the Monday? Well, that can also affect the crypto markets. But I'll be honest, I don't like to see this happening on a Saturday. I have seen tremendous market manipulation today. I told everyone, get out of leverage. Right now is not the time to be on the markets with leverage. If you buy spot, you are protecting yourself. That's fine. And yes, the market manipulators have indifference to retail suffering. You need to be prepared mentally for whatever scenario happens next. What I can promise you, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be on the trenches. I'm going to be live streaming every day. Are we going to go down all the way to 70 cents? I'm going to be by your side. We are on this together. We are all on the same page. XRP holders, crypto holders. And if you want to really understand what's going on, please watch my videos from a couple of months ago. I did predict this exact scenario. There is a video titled, "The bull run is over." I did this video about 7 months ago, and that ended up with my account on Twitter getting suspended. So please watch that video. I did a phenomenal on-chain analysis where I break down exactly what's happening. How do you protect yourself? Well, DCA yourself out of this situation. Most importantly, stay away from leverage. Currently is extremely risky. And the Clarity Act is going to wipe out 99% of crypto projects. So stick to the fundamentals, to the battle-tested blockchains that have been proven over time and that are ready for financial adoption. XRP, XLM, HBAR, SHX, Algorand. Well, there is a handful of blockchains and tokens that are going to get out of this situation on top.
XRP is like a Bitcoin. It's a digital asset. It's today the third most valuable digital asset. And what we do is we take a transaction between banks, and instead of having a bank pre-fund an account at the other bank, which is how correspondent banking works today. The Bank of Brad in dollars would pre-fund to the Bank of Julia, perhaps in pounds, and then I would debit and credit that. But that means I have to pre-fund and have dormant capital sitting at that other bank. What we allow banks to do, we allow payment providers to do, is to tap into the liquidity of XRP liquidity. So today there's lots of liquidity between XRP and US dollar. There's lots of liquidity between XRP and British pound. And you could tap into that to move value in real time, in seconds. And even compared to Bitcoin, which takes up to 12 minutes to complete one transaction, XRP is extremely fast at about 3 seconds per transaction. That has meant XRP is extremely scalable in contrast to how Bitcoin works. The consumer itself doesn't actually see that it's flowing through XRP to solve the problem. What the consumer sees is simply a better product at a better price. And so we're seeing more momentum than we've ever had around using XRP to move this liquidity around the world. And so we couldn't really be happier about how that has played out in a world where there's still a lot, I think, of FUD, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of doubt about what's going on in crypto. This is a real use case solving a real problem for real customers.
Meme coins, get rid of meme coins, get rid of speculation, get rid of anything that has no intrinsic value and that's not aligned with regulators and policymakers. And here is what everyone's missing out. This might be the end of BTC. If BTC crashes below $73,000, let me tell you what's happening. The sharks are circling Michael Saylor. Wall Street smells blood on the streets. And right now, MicroStrategy is bleeding. The sharks are circling Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy. This can trigger massive liquidation events. So, not a financial advice. I would stay away from BTC because I truly believe that BTC might never recover from this. Focus on the fundamentals. That's what I have been doing. I am looking to increase some holdings. Algorand is one of them. HBAR is another. I already hold tremendous amounts of XRP in cold wallets. I'm not touching that actually. I'm not touching my XRP sitting in cold wallets. It doesn't even feel that painful because I'm not watching the price to go up and down. That's just torturing yourself. That's why I don't recommend you to have large sums of XRP sitting on exchanges. That's the worst torture you can do to yourself. You are measuring XRP against decaying fiat currencies. And honestly, I measured my portfolio in XRP. Every drop is an opportunity. I'll do my best to provide the best levels on the chart so that you can actually maximize your buying orders. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to see you in the next video, which should come out very shortly because this market is just insane right now. As a content creator, I can tell you, you can barely sleep. See you soon.